Heyo, welcome back to Thoughts and Opinions Are Our Own. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Kirk.
Oh, Kirk.
Yes.
Lots of things are happening.
Yes.
So we are now in the fall season.
Yes.
And we're getting closer to Christmas.
We're getting closer to the holidays. They're coming up. They sure are.
Yeah, and weren't you listening to Christmas music the other day, you said?
There's a funny story. So the school, the new school that I am now coaching tennis at.
Try to keep up. It's okay. There's a lot
I know.
happened.
It's a lot of, okay.
I feel like we see that every day.
The writers are trying to come up with new material here.
Contact our agents.
We think we're on season 3 still. So I'm in a bus, and it's a big, like a coach bus, nice big coach bus. And there were 3 teams. We were all from the same school that I coach at, and we were going to play on a Saturday morning. Actually, it was 2 states away.
Do not miss those Saturday mornings.
So it was a bit of a drive, and so anyhow, 2 of the 3 teams in the bus won. I think their team tied. Anyhow,
sure.
So on the ride home, one of the teams that won, I think it was the field hockey team, maybe girls field hockey. So I'm doing tennis. Anyhow, girls field hockey was on the bus with us, and they had the boombox in the back because then they were celebrating. Okay,
nice.
let's go.
Nice.
And so all of a sudden, I'm like, I think what? I think they were playing Christmas songs. I'm like, okay, it's a couple months early, but you know what? God bless them. They won. They're celebrating.
Sometimes I listen to Christmas music when I clean.
Christmas music is fun.
It puts me in a good mood.
It really does. And it should,
it's
obviously.
It's a mood booster.
Christmas should put a little extra pep in your step, of course. So one of the big songs, obviously, is Joy to the World. So I started thinking about the word joy and how, of course, it's a fruit of the Spirit. If you're a believer,
listen to our kindness pod.
Yes, the kindness is also for the Spirit.
Wink.
So nice, subtle plug there. So
thank you.
I think it's Galatians 5. It's love, joy, peace. So joy is number 2, right away.
Ready to
love, go. Joy, and I think even was it Beethoven? He wrote the Ode to Joy.
Oh yeah,
joyful, we adore the yeah. So I feel like music brings again Christmas music in particular, but I really think music can bring joy or happiness to someone, and especially here in America, music is really big with the radios, with the concerts, with a lot of performing artists. They do these big huge concerts.
When I think of joy, I think of the character Joy from Inside Out from Pixar's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Amy Poehler. And she's just like, hi, I'm Joy.
That's a good point. Wow.
Thanks.
Side note, I got to tell you, I had never really even seen that movie.
Oh,
and I'm like, okay. Until a couple years ago, I was at the school that I was the parapro teacher at.
Your past school?
In Michigan.
We're throwing so much
information I know it's
in
a
the
lot.
First 5 minutes.
It's a lot of content, Jordan. And I'm like, oh, it's a cartoon movie, whatever. But it got deep. That movie gets really deep within the first 20 minutes. I'm like, wait.
Snaps and claps to that.
Wait, where's this headed? So yeah, you're right, Joy. So anyhow, I felt like music. This is a true story too. I'm in the car ride coming over here to your place where we're recording this tonight.
That's right. I leveled up, everybody.
That's right. Jordan's living on her own now. And I was, bumping the tunes in the car, and I'm at a stoplight, and I hear Madonna come on with her song Vogue, and I'm like, that's we're gonna crank that tune.
I think she's going on tour soon.
I think so. So I said a prayer for Madonna. I did. True story.
She's also from Michigan.
Yes, that's right.
Didn't she say she was either going to be a nun or a superstar?
Well, with the word Madonna as your name, you kind of have to pick one or the other.
Wow, she knew.
So so my question to you is, joy. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking about joy. Again, the fruit of the Spirit. If you're a believer, you try to tap into that.
To be honest, more believers should really tap into joy.
Well, you should. And Jordan, I would like to think if there was some way possible for me, Kirk, to give one thing to the world tonight, mm-hmm. 8 billion people on the planet. Somebody says, Kirk, you have an opportunity to give all 8 billion people one thing tonight, a gift. What would you give them? And I'm not messing. I really believe I would give them some kind of joy.
Yeah.
I think the world could use a big dose of joy.
Oh, I agree.
I think I see people, again, here in America in particular, we have so much. We've been given so much. We have so much freedom and opportunities here. And now that I'm living on the East Coast, we're living in a nice area, in a nice neighborhood. And I've seen in athletics, in the athletic world, I've seen, these big athletes or people that I've coached and worked with, and I'm like, you've got a good team. Like, you're probably going to win championships, and like, be happy.
Yeah.
Where's your joy? Like, you're part of something special. Like, you're not struggling to win like 2 games this year. You could probably go undefeated.
Right.
So again, that's the coaching.
I've been on that team where we're 0-2, and that's not fun.
In 2002, true story, 2002, I'm coaching tennis at a high school in Michigan. We were 0-14.
Yeah.
And I mean, you talk about some reality. Like, so when you're on a team, or when you're coaching a team, or you're part of a program that's like 14-0, and you're ranked number 1 in the state of Michigan, or state of wherever, Texas or Hawaii, wherever you are, be thankful.
Yeah.
Be appreciative. Have some joy.
Yeah.
When you're on the tennis court, when you're on the basketball court, when you're on the soccer field, when you're in the swimming pool, wherever you are, you're equestrian team, or your golf team, be appreciative. Be thankful for what you have.
I think of like March Madness, and whenever the seeds come out for like who's going to be number 1 or number 2. And like those teams, they get so excited when they find out the rank. They just like jump up, and then the coaches just like, they're like, oh great, now we got to like play. But like the team, like the players,
they're excited.
They are.
That's a great point. They made the
big
dance.
The coach is like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then the coach is happy, and then they celebrate when they beat like a team that was higher, because that's the locker room moment. Like the camera runs in, and then they're all
doing
like,
a little dance, and they're throwing up the water up in the air.
The coach usually gets a little silly sometimes. And you're like, okay, calm down. Like, yes, it was you, but it was also like your team members too. But yeah, they get really excited. Yes. But yeah, like you really do see it in sports. You see it on the coaches' faces, but you also see it on the players' faces too.
Sports, I feel like people can or should experience joy. Music. So talk to me then about some experiences maybe that you've had with joy.
Yeah, I discovered a water person. I love the ocean. I love the beach. Okay. I really like summer. I like the sun. I think season 1 of our podcast, I'm like, oh, I like winter. No, not anymore. I like the summer. Bring it up. It's ice cream. It's the sun. Those are fun moments. So I was thinking about like the moments where I had joy, and it was usually big milestone moments, whether I graduated high school, graduated college, whether I went to a wedding, when my nephew was born, when I went to my sister's wedding, when I'm traveling. You know, we joked about getting stuck in Miami. That was pretty fun though. Okay, I can laugh back at that. Denver, California, Chicago.
You've traveled a lot in America.
I really have, actually, now that I think about it. And I am getting ready for my next trip.
Well, keep us updated.
National.
Jordan, keep us updated as you go.
But yeah, so most of the joyful moments are usually it's me chilling on a beach somewhere, just like soaking in the sun. You know, you watch the seagulls go by. You watch people like go by and they're running. And I'm like, you are so lucky that you're here on the beach, on the ocean. In 2020, we went to Jupiter, Florida.
We sure did.
Which I didn't realize. I'm like, I went to Jupiter. Because I think, isn't in Veronica Mars, it's Neptune, California.
Oh, it is. Oh, you're right. Veronica Mars.
With Kristen Bell. She's also from Michigan, by the way.
From Michigan.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was really, I'm like, oh, are they trying to like.
Somebody knew about Jupiter. Yes,
they knew. Did. There's like a big red lighthouse. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
But I remember we went to the beach and it was 2020 and COVID was happening, and like people, I remember looking at the apartments, I'm like, you are so lucky that you can look out onto the ocean. I'm getting ready to go back to Michigan, okay? And here you are literally on the ocean. Do you take advantage of it? Do you not? So now that I'm in a new state now, I am trying to take advantage of where I'm at. You know, I'm super close to the Blue Ridge Mountains. Have I gone yet? No, not yet.
So the nature.
But it is definitely on the list. But yeah, I do like, my joyful moments are I'm up there and I'm just taking it in. And there's a lot of happy people at the beach. Now, you do hear probably a toddler crying, you know, because they probably don't want to leave, or their ice cream got spilled, or, you know, pick a reason. But you don't really see a lot of people crying at the beach.
That's a good point. I was at your mom and I, we went to just over a year ago. We did just the two of us. We went on a quick 1 week vacation in August of last year, and a nice place in North Carolina, right there on the Atlantic Ocean. And your mom would sit there under her umbrella, God bless her, and read her book. Aww. And I'm like, I'm going for a walk. I'll be back in like
I do that too.
An hour.
I got that from her.
It's cool. But so here's one thing that I've been to the beach many times over many years. Here's one kind of revelation that I had on the beach over a year ago. I'm walking on the beach, doing my thing, watching people, enjoying the sun, like you said, the nice air, the warm air. It was August. It was nice and warm. A lot of people on the beach. The water's right there. Happiness. And I see, like you just said about the toddlers, you see people from different age brackets. You see younger people, you see kids playing, building the sandcastles, whatever, jumping in the waves. You see older people maybe throwing their frisbee or beach volleyball, or
whatever. They have the dog.
Going for a walk, walking the dog, and they got the AirPod.
Even the dogs are happy at the beach.
The dogs are jumping.
The dogs
in the water.
have joy.
And then you see like the older generation, the grandpas and the grandmas, and they're usually, if they're there with the grandkids, they're happy too. And I real quick story. I'm walking on the beach and I see this lady, and she's got maybe 4, 5, 6 friends with her. And she is right there on the beach, and she's in a wheelchair. And she had these extra, like, it looked like, just the way it looked like extra inflatable, like, tires. Like a four-wheeler tire. Because obviously she couldn't get stuck in the sand with the wheelchair. Right. But she had a big smile on her face. They were taking photos. They were laughing. And I'm like, you know what? Good for her. And then 5-10 minutes, I'm walking, 5-10 minutes up the beach. There's this older lady, I don't know, maybe 70s, 80s, whatever. And she had a lot of balloons, and it said happy birthday. And there was this older gentleman, maybe it was her husband, maybe it was her buddy. And he was taking, maybe he was taking photos. No judging, man. And I'm just like, you know what she said to him? It's my birthday. He's like, where would you like to go? She's like, we're going to the beach.
Yeah.
And you see that at the beach. You see that's a happy place for people. Mm-hmm. Because if people don't want to go to the beach, guess what? They're not going to go to the beach.
Correct.
The people you see at the beaches, they're going to the beach because they like it.
I don't think like all those coastal towns would be as so popular if the beach wasn't a happy place.
That's right. That's exactly right. I mean, and it gets hot and windy. But you know what? You put up the umbrella, or you know what? You go in the water to cool off.
Correct.
And then you come back out. But I noticed that. I'm like, the beach is it's some people's happy place.
Yeah.
Whether it's they're by themselves, sitting in a chair, staring out in the ocean, which I saw an older gentleman do that, or they're with friends, that lady in the wheelchair with her 6 or 8 friends, they're taking photos, or it's the lady and the gentleman, and she's celebrating her birthday. I'm like, you know what? Good for them. They're all here for different reasons.
Yeah.
But in their mind, it's a happy place, and it's a joyful time in there. That's like a Kodak moment. This is where I'm going. I'm going to the beach today for whatever, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 3 hours. And I got to be honest, I was happy at the beach.
Yeah.
We had Happy Kirk at the beach.
Sure did.
I was in a joyful place. I'm like, you know what? I enjoy this.
Yeah.
I enjoy being at the beach. So when you said, now let me ask you this though. So if you're joyful being at the beach, you can be by yourself. Can you be joyful like with a group setting with a lot of people?
Oh, yeah.
Who's also like the beach, but obviously with the beach, it's spread out.
Yeah, I mean, graduation, that's a really big, joyful moment. I mean, you're celebrating, like, all your hard work. You're celebrating, like, okay, I'm going on to college, or I'm going into the workforce.
Yeah.
And you're like, woohoo! Like, so I think that could be fun. Holidays, I mean, that's always really fun. Unless you have a jacked up family, then you usually try to get together. I think Friendsgiving, that's been a new term that's people have been using the last probably 7 to 10 years, so get together.
Yep.
Concerts, those are really
Music
fun.
Concerts,
if you went to the Taylor Swift concert, I'm not bitter that you went, but you better have had the joy those 3 hours.
Because you've got one of the all-time greatest.
Let me tell you, when I got stuck in that Ticketmaster queue, I did not have joy. I was experiencing the opposite of joy. Am I still trying to see her next year? Yes, I am. Stay tuned for updates. Maybe I go to Paris. I don't know.
But that's a good point, because she's one of the all-time great
and it was like
artists,
literally
songwriters, performers.
Yeah.
And you're seeing her in her prime.
Correct.
With 80,000 of her closest
friends.
And
a lot of the fans were commenting of how she looked super happy, and this was like the best that she's ever.
Yes.
Like this was like the happiest they've ever seen her or anything. Now I didn't go to Reputation. I mean, it was like tough Taylor. Okay, you were like not messing with her. So
she's in a different place in her life, obviously.
Of course, but I mean, I still had joy seeing her. Like that was really cool. I'm like, yeah, Taylor, you tell them, don't mess with you.
That's right.
But yeah, I mean, I think like concerts are really fun. I'm trying to think other places that you have joy.
Well, I would think, especially nowadays after the whole COVID thing, 3-4 years ago, whatever it was. If there's one thing, maybe we've already talked about this before, but if there's one thing that we could all agree on after COVID is, especially here in America, it's like, don't take things for granted.
Yeah.
Because as we all saw and witnessed, life can get real serious real fast.
I think in Michigan, I didn't take advantage of going to the Great Lakes. I mean, I did, but I could have gone more in, like, even being so close to the border of Canada. Like, that would have, I didn't take advantage of that. I maybe did that like once or twice. And like, I mean, I am glad, like, we went and we saw the hockey games. I probably should have gone and see the Tiger games, you know?
Oh, Red Wings. Yeah.
Or what did I say?
The hockey games. Yeah.
I thought I combined
Detroit Red Wings. It's okay.
I thought I combined them. I mean, we went and we saw them, like, before we moved, and there was so much joy that day. That was a lot of fun. It is fun to, like, you know, watch your team win. So I do see with sports, that's cool.
Yes.
I don't know, as a performer, I would think you have joy, like, performing every night, having someone cheer your name, like, Jordan, that would be cool.
Yes.
Those plays I did in school, those were fun. When I did Irish step dancing, those were fun. I did not have joy when I was swimming because my coach was not cheering my name in a joyful way. That was more of like a traumatic experience. But so, I mean, you do kind of have to find things that, like, do bring you joy, and it's super simple. And I do, and like going back to like what I first said, I really feel like as believers, you should have joy.
Yes.
Because if I'm a non-believer, why would I join your religion if you're like moping and you're really crabby? I'm like, you're like, oh, I think this political figure is the savior, and I'm like, should we though? Like, and as believers, like, yes, Christmas, you should have joy because hello, the savior chose the planet Earth.
The king is born.
He didn't choose Jupiter. He didn't choose Mars. He chose Earth. Now, he chose Earth because, you know, of course we sinned, and he had to come and he had to die. So the joy.
Preach.
Thank you. I think people forget that, like, Christmas is like a 2-in-1. Like, it's a very happy moment, but then, like, Easter's coming. Now, Good Friday's super sad, but the nice thing about Easter is, like, the tomb is empty too. And, like,
somebody, Jesus, come on, somebody.
Thank you. Jesus is on the throne right now. So, like, why are you crabby? Because someone cut you off in traffic. Pray for them. Do you know how many people I pray for? I'm like, God bless them in their day.
I was praying for Madonna on the way over here. I'm like, Madonna, you got a great song named Jesus. I'm praying for you right now.
So when your Christian coworker comes in and starts crabbing, I just give them a side eye. Like, bro, how do you have it so bad? Like, first of all, you're living in the US of A, so you really shouldn't be complaining. Yes, okay, inflation, whatever, politics, whatever. But, like, I mean, you are winning the game of life, okay? Because if you're in another country, I'd be like, how are Americans so crabby sometimes? And again, like, if I'm a non-believer and if I'm like, I don't know what religion, you know, what's the hype? And I see, like, my Christian coworker complaining about, like, oh, guess what my husband did over the weekend? Or, oh, my God. I'm like, okay, why would I want to, like, worship Jesus then?
Well, people are human, of course. And, you know, they might not have a smile on their face every single day. So, obviously, you got to cut people slack. But you're right. Ideally, Christians and believers, because, again, the fruit of the Spirit.
They're the greatest PR for their religion, and some of them are really bad at it.
And it says in Nehemiah 8, I think 8:10, it says the joy of the Lord is your strength. If you're trying to get through the day, if you're trying to be strong, you know, and spiritually and with spiritual warfare, the enemy's trying to come in and take your joy. The enemy is trying to come in and steal, kill, and destroy. I really feel like the enemy's trying to steal that joy. If he can get somebody's joy, they're not as strong anymore. They're weak. And it's like the law of the jungle with the little wildebeest, and then the tiger's about to pounce. Does the tiger go after the strong one, or does the tiger go after the weak one? Usually what? The tiger's hungry for lunch. The tiger's going after the weak one.
I'm not going to share, like, all of the details, okay? But recently, I got really sick physically, and some supernatural things happened. So, yeah.
You felt like the enemy was attacking you.
Oh, yeah.
Because the enemy knew you weren't at 100%, because physically you were a little tired.
Yes.
A little run down.
Yes. Yeah. And there were some very interesting dreams that I had. And I don't think, at one point, and this is going to sound very vague, but you know what happened.
Yes.
In one of the dreams I had, I wasn't responding fast enough to what happened, and I think the enemy got angry. And then I had a dream within the dream where, you know, you wake up. But yeah, I mean, you're not kidding. Like, the enemy will go after people who
when they're tired, when they're weaker, when
yeah,
they're
and I mean,
well.
my whole immune system. I mean, I'll admit, I was like, "What is happening to my body?" My sleep schedule was a wreck, and then I'm like, "Was this real? Was this not?" But yeah, I mean, there's a saying: when it rains, it pours. They're not kidding, okay? Because it's one whammy after the next. It's a triple whammy. So yeah, I mean, they are going to go after you, when you're not, mentally strong, physically strong, spiritually strong. So yeah, I mean, joy, I think people kind of say it lighthearted, but it should people should take it a little more seriously.
Yes, absolutely. The joy of the Lord is your strength, and it should be.
Oh, I'm okay, by the way, if you were worried.
I'm doing better now,
I'm doing very, very,
that was about
very
a month
well.
and a half ago.
I'm doing very well. I know things now that I didn't before, but and now I'm thinking about lots of new game plans. But I'm good. Thank you.
But yes, again, spiritually, it is real. The enemy is real, and one of the fruits of the Spirit is joy, and it's real, and it is our strength, according to Nehemiah. So let this be, hopefully, for our listening audience. Let this be an encouraging pod, and we hope that wherever you are in your daily walk, whether you believe in Jesus or not, or whether you believe in the spiritual realm or not, that it is real and joy is important, especially here in the world, that this fun world that we live in, that we've been given. And if you are a believer, tap into that as your strength. And if you're not a believer, then my advice is, if you're not a believer, look into it, because if you have questions, ask someone.
Give it 21 days. It's
ask
21
someone
challenge.
And see, I've heard a lot about this. I've heard a lot about whatever, God or Jesus. And
what's the hype?
Yeah, what is this about God and Jesus? Again, as we get closer to when we're recording this,
and
now,
I will say too,
when we get closer to Christmas, Christmas is real and it is important, especially in America. Why do people celebrate the birth of this guy named Jesus?
I feel like my whole life, and I think we've talked about this too, you can tell there's always something different about Christians. I've had coworkers, they're always like, Jordan, why are you so happy? Or why are you so peppy? Or you have a lot of energy? Or why are you in a silly, goofy mood? And I'm like, okay, A, I'm not trying to be. And B, what do I have to be angry about? What do I have to be bitter about? Now, again, like you said, I am human.
We're all humans. Yeah.
So there are moments just like Jesus, when he had to go and take a nap and get away. I'd have to do that too sometimes. You got to recharge
your battery. Yes,
correct,
your social battery.
Correct. But I mean, you can find joy in the little things, and then you can find joy in the big things too. And yeah, I really feel like Jesus does bring a lot of joy in your life.
Amen.
Because without him, I'm not trying to, be that person, but what do you have to live for? Okay, I wake up, I go to work, boom, that's it. No, there's so much to do. So hopefully we've been joyful. Hopefully we've been good witnesses.
Yes.
I like to question things sometimes and get a little deep there. And thanks, Dad, for getting on my level of deep. Because to be honest, not a lot of people can. Yeah, yesterday I got deep with my mom, and I think I threw her for a loop.
Well, you called her what? 7:30 in the morning. You asked her a deep question on the way to work, and she's like, "Wait, what did you just say?"
I knew if I didn't ask her then, I would totally forget. But I gotta say, it got her questioning.
Yes.
And then she brought it up to the family, and then here we are a day later, and we're still talking about it.
Real quick, yesterday was my grandson and
my nephew.
Your nephew. It was
my little mini superstar.
It was his 1-year birthday yesterday, and we're all here.
Woohoo!
We're all here within 35 minutes of each other.
Happy birthday!
So it was really fun to see him. It was fun to see 1 year.
He had joy.
He had joy yesterday.
Playing with the balloons.
Happy birthday.
For the first time, he's opened up presents.
A cake.
And I think he realized, hey, I got a lot of presents.
He was the main character of the story.
Main character. Oh my gosh. And guess what? He gets to do it again for Christmas. So I think, next year he'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this day. Oh yeah. Yeah, where's my birthday donut? Where's that cake?
Good times.
So, maybe your birthday's coming up. Do a fun, joyful thing for your birthday.
Yes.
I like to do that on my birthday.
We celebrate big in our family. Yes, we do.
We do. All right. Well, how would you like to wrap this up?
Go out, experience joy, folks. And again, we appreciate this. This pod brings us joy. We hope it brings you joy.
So
and again, thanks for tuning in to season 3. I think we got to wrap up season 3 pretty soon.
Yeah, we do.
But thanks for being loyal to us. And
we're talking to the agent and the writers for season 4.
Negotiating. We're going to negotiate for season 4. So again, thanks for listening to us. And we hope today brought you some kind of joy in your life. Rock and roll.